Hello, my name is Zilly and welcome to my Double Damage Lisa guide featuring Lisa, that character you forgot you had since AR10. So why should you build Lisa? Well, Lisa's charged attack does the most damage out of any Catalyst user in the entire game, including newly released Klee. Her elemental skill at maximum stacks does almost 500% damage at talent rank 1. That's more damage than most ultimates. At Ascension rank 4, she unlocks defense shredding on her ultimate, which is a super rare stat that'll boost your entire team's damage, especially in boss fights. So okay, we know why she's good. So why isn't everyone building her? Well, she does have some weaknesses. First of all, her basic attacks aren't that strong compared to other mages. And she's pretty vulnerable while she's charging up her E. Her ultimate has a large energy cost, and she can't really build energy recharge to cover that up. So okay, so how can we build around her strengths while shoring up her weaknesses? Okay, if you've seen my other guide, you're probably already gonna know what kind of stats I'm gonna like on her. Even though she's a support, you wanna build her like she's a DPS. Because at the end of the day, all she brings to the table is massive amounts of damage. And that's what you have to build around. But okay, for anyone new, we're gonna go over what stats you should be looking for, how you should itemize on your weapon slot, how you should itemize on your artifact slot, and what sets you should pick to get massive damage. Massive. Massive. Massive damage. Well, okay, so why is she a support and not a DPS? Well, with her weak auto attacks, her long cooldowns, and her high energy cost, you kind of just want to pull her out, unload her, and then tuck her back in till she's ready for more. Plus, with her innate elemental mastery, she's great at proccing elemental reactions off your other teammates. Alright, guys, so let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about gear. Let's start with weapons. Obviously, guys, the 5-star weapons are gonna be the best. If you have a 5-star book, you should use a 5-star book. Unless you're using it on a main carry like Klee. Uh, actually, as a matter of fact, the current rate up catalyst on the weapon banner is, in my opinion, the best in slot catalyst for Lisa. Otherwise, you don't have a 5-star weapon. What can you use? As always, I'm gonna have to recommend the Solar Pearl. It's the BP weapon. It's incredible. It's nice. It's vanilla. It can go on any offensive catalyst user. It's a very good pick. Okay, what are some other choices? Well, the Widsith is a fun and actually pretty effective choice. All three buffs are great for Lisa, and with her long cooldowns, you're not going to be swapping onto Lisa more than once every 16 seconds anyway. So this you can proc this 30-second cooldown buff once every 2 times you swap her out, which is about how often you'll also get her Q back up. So it works out perfectly. Plus crit damage on the substat, amazing. You can get crit rate on the helmet and you're great. The Favonius, a bit of a waste here on the energy recharge, but it's okay because she's a support. She's not a main DPS. You can run that. You're going to have more Qs. They're going to do less damage. Your E's not going to punch that hard. If you got the Eye of Perception, solid choice. Otherwise, at the 3-star slot, we've got the Emerald Orb. as long as you can proc Electro Charge, or, actually any of these, increasing attack by 20%. Any of these? Electro Charge. She's Electro. Of course, Electro Charge. Upon proccing Electro Charge, she gets a 20% damage bonus. At max refine, it's 40%. You can probably have it up the whole time. It's a good buff. The only waste is the Elemental Mastery here. And guys, I'm not saying Elemental Mastery is a bad stat, but it's just a little finicky when you compare it to crit, when you compare it to electro damage percent. It's not that straightforward. You actually have to consciously play around it. But if you do, it's very strong. Otherwise, the Magic Guide, 24% and Max Refine, obviously a great choice. Again, Elemental Mastery, but it's not a bad stat. Just not a main stat you would look for. Artifacts. Let's talk about stats first. You're gonna want electro damage on your cup, not like I have. Attack percent on your sands, like this one. Attack on your plume, you can't pick. Flower, HP. And on your helmet, it depends. It depends on what you have on your weapon. That's why you have to min-max this stuff. As for artifact sets, you actually have some options. Number one, Thundering Fury. It's the most supportive. Nope. Thundering Fury is the most supportive of the options. This and Scholar. As long as you can get these reactions off consistently, you're going to have more ease. You're going to have more energy because you're going to throw more ease out. It's a good set. It's a good set. 15%, not bad. Especially if you're running 2 electro units, you're going to have that queue up constantly. Okay, what else? The Scholar set, as I said before, if you guys are running uh, bow and catalyst users in the team, it's gonna give a lot of energy, and it really shows up her energy recharge weakness. Plus, it supports the team. Finally, well, okay, there's also a mid-tier option you can run because it doesn't drop in legendary. The Berserker set, guys. The Berserker set, you're gonna get smacked around while you're charging your E. You're going to be below 70%. That's something you can play around. That gives you a 36% crit rate bonus. That's huge. That's more than a legendary maxed out artifact. If you're running 4-piece Berserker, you can actually switch up your stats, maybe get some energy recharge in, get some elemental mastery in if that's what you're looking for, or get even more crit and really skyrocket that damage. And finally, the most selfish set, in my opinion, is the Thunder Soother set, but it's the set that's going to give you the most damage because that's a 35% always on bonus. That could basically read 35% electro damage for Lisa, and it's incredible. It's incredible. But it's selfish, doesn't help the rest of the team. She is a support, so it's up to you. How much help does your team need? If we're talking about teammates, some good teammates are going to shore up Lisa's weaknesses. What are weaknesses? Energy recharge, CC, and vulnerability during her E. So if we're talking about CC, Venti, Sucrose, she's on the rate-up banner. Both great options. Plus, Venti, if you've got him with his level 4 Ascension talent, as long as his ultimate becomes electro charged, he's gonna give back a huge refund on that energy. Really gonna help out on both the energy recharge and the CC side. Um, Always a pyro DPS, someone like Zhongling or Diluc, they can set up those burning on the trash mobs, so she can come out, charge that E, and boom, proc those all those overcharges on everything, and just one shot the whole field. Really help out. If you do have Diluc or Zhonling as your main DPS, Elemental Mastery becomes a lot better. Mona, also very good. Set up with the ultimate. They don't move. They take extra damage. Guess what does a lot of damage? Guess what needs them to not move? That's right. That's the E. And finally, some honorable mentions. Uh, okay, we've got two categories. One is an electro DPS, someone like Razor or Faisal. That's gonna give you the electro party resonance, which if you don't know gives you extra energy as long as you're proccing those reactions. Can be very, very, very good because it's gonna give energy to both your main DPS and Lisa. Lots of energy, lots of more Qs. But you have to make sure you can still proc reaction because if you're taking up two of the four slots on electro characters, chances are you can't fit a lot more elements in there, especially if you want someone like Venti too. And finally, uh, characters that can shore up her E weakness. Geomain with his first constellation, 10% crit rate, and increased resistance against interruption. It's very good. Make sure you can get that E off. Another honorable mention, Noel, pop her shield, switch to Lisa, charge that E, no fear. Super good. And let's talk about some basic combos, what you're gonna want to do depending on what you're fighting. Let's say you're fighting a big boss, you're at 9-3, Abyss 9-3, that big lava churl. What are you gonna do? You're gonna swap to Lisa. You're gonna charge attack, E, charge attack. And guys, the moment you see that, boom, you can cancel it either with shift or with spacebar. Either jump or sprint. Because if you just sit here and do the animation, I'm clicking buttons, I can't move. I'm clicking W, and now I can move. Look at that delay. Look at that wind up. Or wind down, rather. So you want to cancel that just like you're going to cancel a fourth hit on a Claymore. Like you're going to cancel a charge hit on a Clee. You're going to want to have to cancel that. So what you're going to want to do, charge attack, E, charge attack. That'll give 3 stacks of her passive. That'll give massive AoE damage with her taking advantage of her huge charge attacks. If you're running Solar Pearl, take advantage of that passive, and then you can charge that E, and boom, 500% damage. And remember, guys, that's almost 500% at talent rank 1. This thing will double at rank 12. If you get to rank 15 with Constellations, and we can take a look at those, it will be massive, massive damage. Okay, so let's take a look at constellations. Lisa gets a lot better with each constellation. Really shores up her weaknesses, brings out her strengths. First one, extra energy. What does she need? Energy recharge. Boom, right there. Second one, what is she? Vulnerable during E. Boom, less vulnerable. 3 and 5, the classics, more damage. The fourth, a lot more damage on your Q. That's almost triple the damage average of your Q. And finally, this number 6, always the best one. When you swap to Lisa, you don't even have to charge your E up. Just swap, boom, pop that E on everything for maximum damage. It's incredible. It's very good. And that's going to have to do it. A small note, the way the game is now with the resin system, with how Mora are, I cannot afford, guys, to level up these characters in a day or two and take them out and run them at Abyss 10 and 11 where I want to show you that they have potential because I know they have potential. I'm gonna be slowly building them up. Unless something changes in the game, I'm gonna have to do it at a slower rate. I'm going to build them up. I'm going to have a showcase for any of you skeptics out there. But until then, you're gonna have to take my word for it. And that was a level 40 Lisa you saw in the video. I took her to 50 since then. Uh, Still haven't ascended her though. A level 40 Lisa dealing, doing pretty well, holding her ground at Abyss 7. So she can definitely do a lot of work. Imagine if she had her Q talent. Imagine if she had some constellations. Imagine if she had better artifacts, better gear, better sets. She can get a lot better than what you saw and really do those, screenshot worthy numbers. And as always, if you like the video, like it. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Any suggestions you have, any questions you have, I'm in the comment section. I'm going to be answering questions. And thank you so much for watching. And see you in the next one. Bye.